Welcome to Grimscape of Horror. My name is Grim, and today I have a different type of video because this is going to be a more serious video. As you can see, there's no red lights, orange lights. There's nothing on my TV in the background. I'm going to be talking about a topic that I feel like I need to talk about, especially around this time. Something that I've been outspoken about for a while now. If you follow me on like TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, you might see me reposting a bunch of stuff about this. But today, in this video, I'm here to ask you to help in boycotting Scream 7, which is the upcoming 7th sequel to the Scream franchise. And you might be wondering, like, why would I boycott this movie? Like, you might be excited for it and all that, but there's something more serious going on, and I feel like a lot of people know, but they just don't care. But then there might be other people who just don't know about this and like what's going on, and like either way, I'm hoping this video will help educate someone or help someone understand or like reach someone to help support this cause and help us in this. So first, let me start off by saying why this is important. So Melissa Barrera, who is a talented actress, she was the lead in Scream 5, Scream 6, and both movies, by the way, were successful at the box office. They made more money than Scream 4, I believe. They were so successful that development on the 7th movie started almost immediately after Scream 6's release. But in October of 2023 is when Melissa made several Instagram posts about the ongoing, I don't know if I can say this word on YouTube, but genocide in Palestine. She did this with a week within like all this going on, and she was one of the few celebrities that were outspoken and speaking up about the death and violence that Israel is inflicting on the Palestinian people. And in November of 2023, like a month after, Melissa was fired by Spyglass Media Group, who is the production company, the studio that owns the Scream IP and the Scream franchise. And you might be thinking, I thought that was Paramount. No, Paramount is just the distributor. Spyglass Media Group is like the production company. They make the movie, and then Paramount just helps like market it and distribute it, put it out. And so Spyglass Media Group, the studio that owns the rights to the Scream movies, she was fired from them, and she was also slandered by the studio in a statement that they made, which accused her of being anti-Semitic in her posts. And this was a false accusation, of course, where a spokesperson says Spyglass stands unequivocally clear. We have zero tolerance for anti-Semitism or the incitement of hate in any form, including false references to genocide, ethnic cleansing, Holocaust distortion, or anything that flagrantly crosses the line into hate speech. And they told us to Variety. And I'm going to show an example right here of Melissa's post. She was not being anti-Semitic at all. She was sharing a passage from an essay by Raz Segel, a respected Israeli scholar of Holocaust and genocide studies, which was published in the Jewish Currents. She also shared fair critiques about the escalating violence by the hands of the IDF. And if you don't know, I don't know if I'm going to show the video or not, but there was a video released recently that showed a bunch of Israeli men protesting so that they can, trigger warning here, but so that they can rape women, Palestinian women. But so yeah, she's been really outspoken on this subject, on this genocide that's going on. She also urged others to open their eyes. That's basically all that she did. And it's been known for a while that false accusations of anti-Semitism are often used by Zionists to silence supporters of Palestine. And this tactic was used on Melissa Barrera for that reason. But also there's the issue of racist blacklisting, which is a whole thing in Hollywood that's been happening for years now, where blacklisting is the practice of professionally like avoiding someone or like leaving them out because of their political beliefs. And the intention with this was to pressure Melissa so that she wouldn't speak on Palestine anymore and stuff like, and basically just not have free speech. That was the whole intent on it, but it didn't work because Melissa is a better person than that. And this was done to Melissa by Spyglass Media Group, more specifically their CEO, Gary Barber. And in an interview with Entertainment Weekly last April, Melissa explained how this incident affected her. She explained that being accused of anti-Semitism, being removed from the movie, left her in a dark and lonely place. Not only did the false accusations affect Melissa's mental well-being, but it also affected the opportunities that came her way, where she was getting less and less movies, less and less projects that are coming up for her to be a part of. And in another interview with People magazine, she explains that the opportunities had dried up for like nearly a year. And these are the quotes that I got from the article, where she says there were times where it felt like her life was over, and and how it was quiet for like 10 months straight, and like she was getting like offers for like small things here and there, like probably like indie stuff, but she's not gonna say like she didn't get nothing, because she did get some stuff, but like they were just like really small like projects. And after she was falsely accused of being anti-Semitic, she quickly put out like a story on her Instagram where she says, "I condemn anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. I condemn hate and prejudice of any kind against any group of people. As a Latina, a proud Mexicana," she continues, "I feel the responsibility of having a platform that allows me the privilege of being heard, and therefore I have tried to use it to raise awareness about issues I care about and to lend my voice to those in need." It is clear that Melissa Barrera was targeted for defending Palestinian rights, and she did not fold or give up her support for Palestine, and she stayed strong. And now I gave you all the lore about it. I don't know what BDS is. Let me explain it to you. BDS is a Palestinian-led movement that uses boycotts, divestments, and sanctions to advocate for the Palestinian people. The targets have supported the ongoing violence and oppression of the Palestinian people in some way. So, for example, Starbucks, McDonald's, Disney is one of them. But I feel like that was more of a pressure. They said pressure by like not subscribing to like Disney Plus, for example. And then there was like the whole thing with the Captain America Brave New World movie, which I'm going to get into that. But BDS has led several successful campaigns, and while they have their own list, they've made it clear that they support all non-violent efforts to hold Israel accountable, which is what I'm trying to do with this. I'm trying to hold Spyglass accountable and the whole like company that fired Melissa Barrera. And on January 16, 2025, BDS officially declared its support for boycotting Scream 7. So it wasn't just a small thing that a group of stans or like a part of the fandom like were doing. No, the BDS movement showed their support for boycotting Scream 7. It was official, letting us all know that this film is boycottable under their guidelines for a cultural boycott of complicit institutions. And when the movie is released in 2026, we will follow through with this boycott, and I hope you will join me in that. You might be asking yourself, okay, so they did all this. How can I help in boycotting this movie and like this company? There's a few ways you can help. What you can do as a consumer or a fellow movie lover, a fellow horror movie lover, do not purchase tickets. Do not purchase tickets. Don't stream. Don't pay for video on demand. Don't pay for it at all. There will be a complete boycott of Scream 7 upon its release, which I think right now is slated for February. So that will be like, don't go and see this movie. If you have friends that are like, let's go see this new movie, tell them no, and tell them why. Just show them this video, if anything. Just explain to them why you're boycotting, the reasons why to boycott, and other things that you can do. And this is for other content creators who might watch this video. And this is to not talk about the movie or share news about the movie. Like when a trailer releases, which is when I plan to upload this video, when the first trailer comes out, because I feel like that will help. Don't watch, don't engage with the trailer. Just don't share news about this movie. Don't report on it. And that goes for like journalists too. If you're a journalist, you're assigned to cover this movie, explain why advocates of Palestinian human rights are boycotting this movie, and avoid amplifying the movie on social media. Just share information about the boycott with your friends and followers, especially if you're fans of horror movies and you have friends or family who also support Palestine. This will help as well. And if you're still asking yourself, why should I boycott Scream 7? Like, I don't care about this. You should care about this. This is a message that racist blacklisting will not be tolerated in Hollywood, and for that reason, us as the movie consumers, as the movie audience, should not support this movie at all. And we are also letting the public know, and Spyglass know, that genocide in Palestine will not be normalized. We will not accept destroying Palestinian lives, and boycotting this movie will send a message that will be loud and clear. And I'll also have a link so you can follow Boycott Scream 7 on, I believe they're on TikTok, they're also on Instagram, they're also on Twitter. You can follow them. And then also follow the BDS Movement on all socials. I'll have their links down below. And you might also be saying, I can't boycott Scream 7. I've been a fan of the franchise for forever. I'm telling you right now, that is bullcrap. That is bullcrap. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Scream 2. Like, I have 2 masks back here, but I'm a fan too. I mean, I didn't start being a fan until Scream 5 because Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera signed on to be in Scream 5. Like, that's what made me hyped up, especially after watching In the Heights for the first time. I was like, oh, wait, so she's gonna be in here? But I'm telling you right now, it is not hard. It is not hard at all. I might have not been a Scream fan since childhood, but I've been a fan of the Marvel movies since, like, the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. Like that's like one of my first ever movie experiences. One of my favorite characters of all time is Captain America. Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson, it doesn't matter. I love Captain America because of what he stands for. Still to this day, I have not seen a Captain America movie in theaters. I wasn't able to see First Avenger, Winter Soldier, Civil War, and this would have been the first Captain America movie where I would have been able to see a Captain America movie in theaters, but I didn't go see it because there was something more important at stake, where Disney kept an Israeli actress in their movie. She's basically the reason why the movie was being boycotted in the first place, because the actress who they kept in the movie, her name is Shira Haas. The movie was basically boycotted because they wouldn't remove her from the movie. And she was supposed to be an Israeli superhero, I think, or something like that, but then they just worked it around with like some reshoots so that she was like a Black Widow, like wannabe. And because she was still in the trailers, even like a little bit, even though they still cover it in the movie, I boycotted the movie because supporting Palestine is way more important. Like there's literally children and women being slaughtered, just people being slaughtered, just because they're trying to resist to this authoritarian regime. And the only thing that was holding me back from not boycotting Captain America was the fact that this was the first time there was going to be a black Captain America, and I knew that if this movie was being boycotted, they would blame it on the wrong things. They wouldn't blame it on the boycott that was happening, no. Instead, they did exactly what I knew was going to happen, because I literally told my best friend about this before the movie even came out. I feel like this boycott is going to go the wrong way, and they're going to blame not Anthony Mackie per se, but they were going to say because he wasn't white, because he was not Chris Evans, which Kevin Feige literally said that. He said the movie didn't work because it was not Chris Evans in the role, basically. I knew they were going to say that, but I still boycotted because supporting the thousands of Palestinians are suffering right now is more important than supporting Anthony Mackie in that role. Same thing with Rachel Zegler as Snow White, because I'm a big Rachel Zegler fan. I've been a fan of her since I saw her in West Side Story. I watched everything she's in. I watched Hunger Games. I watched Shazam for her. I watched Y2K because I'm a big fan of her. Like, she's a great actress and she's a great singer. And I did not go see Snow White because of the boycott that was going on, because of Gal Gadot being in the movie. And then afterwards, she was to blame for the movie failing instead of Gal Gadot, who is a horrible actress. You cannot tell me Gal Gadot can act. Like, she's horrible. And the fact that they blamed her, they literally flew a producer out to try to convince her to delete her tweet, basically try to shut her down, and she stood strong. That just speaks character. The amount of backlash that Rachel was getting for no reason, just because she was existing and because she was condemning a genocide, like, that is just crazy to me. And it's like I was watching this all unfold because I am a big Rachel Zegler fan. I'm just watching this all unfold, and I want to support her, but I can't support her because this movie is being boycotted, and supporting Palestine is more important than supporting her. And so she got all this backlash. There were hate pieces made on her, and yeah, but the point stands. It's not hard. You just have to care. You just have to care enough to not go and see this movie. Like me personally, I'm not gonna watch Scream 7 at all because the franchise is tainted for me. Like Scream 7 will not be canon for me. I'm only going only 1 through 6 are going to be canon to me, unless Spyglass sells the rights to someone else. That's the only reason I'm going to ever watch Scream again. Future installments. I'm not going to watch 7 or 8 or 9 or however. I'll just keep those 6 movies I have and the TV show that was on MTV, and that's it. Like I don't understand why it's so hard for people to not support this, and that's why I'm going to explain to you some of the things that Israel has done, because I've seen all the videos, I've seen the photos of what's going on over there, and it's barbaric. It's cruel what's happening. And so I came across this TikTok not long ago, and this girl, what she said, it just hit me, and it made me tear up. It made me want to share it in this video. I reached out to her too. I followed her on Instagram. I was like, hey, can I use this? I wasn't sure if I was going to use her video or just say what she said, but she said whichever I can do. So I'm just going to read what she said. And because of Israel, I know what a baby looks like without a head. Because of Israel, I know what remains of a baby and a child's brains look like inside of a plastic bag. Because of Israel, I know what a child looks like with their brain spilling from a shattered skull. If that's already too making you uncomfortable as is, it gets worse. But just from those, descriptions alone, that's what's happening. That's what Israel is doing to Palestinians. Because of Israel, I know what a child looks like with its organs and intestines spilling out of their bodies. Because of Israel, I know what a child looks like picking up the pieces of their parents' bodies and putting them in plastic bags. I know what a child looks like begging a surgeon to save their dangling limbs while they wait to be amputated without anesthesia because of Israel. I know what a starving, malnourished child looks like begging for food that's never going to come because of Israel. Oh, let me stop real quick because also it was just voted by the UN. So many states right now are officially announcing that Israel is committing genocide. Like, it's real. Like the United Nations came together, and so many states and countries are in support of Palestine right now, and that's great news. But we need more support, like much more support than that. We need more action to take place. I hope this video can help that. I know what a hungry child looks like running away from bullets while they try to get food. I know what a child and a person looks like on fire because of Israel. I know the look of despair in a child's eye when they lose their parents, their siblings, everyone they've ever known. I know what it looks like for parents to carry the remains of what's left of their child, to be running with their limbless child for help. And if these words disturb and unsettle you more than the reality of the horrors they recount, then that is the measure of your privilege. The shelter of distance and the choice to look away from this, to choose to look away, that's the measure of how privileged you are. Like, if you use your privilege to go and see this movie, that's just crazy to me. Instead of support, like, it's just one movie too. Like you can't miss one movie. Like, you can't not like talk about one movie or make videos about one movie. Like, it's just crazy to me. So many people would choose to look away, but some of us couldn't, and I'm one of them. I can't look away from like what's happening because we were compelled by the moral duty to bear witness, and for that I am forever changed. I will forever be marked and changed by watching a genocide happen in front of our eyes. The world has failed Palestine, and I put all my hope into the global smooth flotilla making it to Gaza to break the siege and get aid in, because Israel is stopping aid from getting to Gaza as well. Breaking international law right there. I think that's what it is, international law. And so I'm saying free Palestine. From every river to every sea, Palestine will be free. And here's a few other things. IDF soldiers were using audio recordings of babies crying and mothers screaming to lure Palestinians into sniper fire. There were bags of flour being sent by the US that were laced with drugs to Palestine. We've seen entire hospitals burning to the ground, and we saw the arms of Palestinians flailing around before being swallowed up by open flames. We saw parents having to hold the beheaded corpses of their children, not being able to do anything to fix it and solve it. And another thing, you cannot tell me that Israel does not affect you or your family if you live in the US as well, or any other country. When an Israeli government official was caught soliciting a 15-year-old in Las Vegas for intercourse, and when he was caught and arrested, he was pardoned by Donald Trump from any jail time, even though he solicited like intercourse from a minor, a 15-year-old. He fled right back to Israel with 0 charges. Which, if you don't know, Israel is also a safe haven for child predators, rapists, people who watch CP, people who are charged in the US with this, in other countries. They consistently flee to Israel because that's okay over there. As long as Trump pardons people like this, you and your children are not safe just because you're in America. As long as the settler colony Israel exists, you will not be safe. How can you support the boycott? Boycott Scream 7 in theaters and on streamers. Avoid amplifying the movie on social media. Share information about the boycott with your friends and your followers, especially if you're horror fans. If you watch horror movies, tell your friends, tell your family, and everyone who supports a free Palestine. If you're an organization, I will have an email down below, but it's boycottscream7@gmail.com to sign on to the boycott. Yeah, I will have that link down below, and it will help if you're an organization to follow them, to keep up with what's happening, the boycott of Scream 7. I feel like they have something cooking in the works. Again, if you're a journalist or content creator, and if you are assigned to cover the movie, or if you, instead of covering this movie, unless if you have to, like journalists, explain why advocates of Palestinian human rights are boycotting Scream 7. And if you're a content creator, don't post about this movie, don't talk about this movie. Please join in boycotting Scream 7 and make videos talking about why you're boycotting Scream 7 and join this cause, because this means more than some stupid horror movie. This means more. Like, this is way more important than a dumb, like, nostalgia bait horror movie. So, yeah. So yeah, please like this video, subscribe, and share this video around. And from every river to every sea, Palestine will be free.